Clipper Nation, Clipper Nation. We are live from Los Angeles on June 30th, 2026. And Kawhi Leonard is no longer a Clipper. I've been waiting for this day for so long. And it's sad, genuinely, that it has come down to this. But the official trade, Kawhi Leonard back to Toronto, a team that he would be down to extend with, which shocks me. But also a team that's down to extend him. Now, we don't know how many teams are down to extend him. I'm kind of shocked that this all came together so fast and that of all places, Kawhi Leonard is going back to Toronto. It's honestly a feel-good story for him and that fan base, and I get it makes sense. Kawhi Leonard replacing Brandon Ingram, total upgrade there, and making a little push for Toronto to be competitive, even more competitive, I should say. So good for them, good for him. But we get Brandon Ingram to fill that salary, Gradey Dick, a 2027 first-round pick swap, which is interesting because I believe the Thunder have a pick swap with us already. So from what I understand, we're getting the second best of that pick. And then two unprotected first-rounders, 2031 and 2033, and then a 2030 second-round pick and a 2033 second-round pick. So we ended up getting 5 picks, essentially, plus Brandon Ingram and Gradey Dick for Kawhi. I think we did okay. Honestly, I think we did okay. I think the fact that we got 2 unprotected first is really good. I've already seen people, not Clipper fans on Twitter, saying that we might have gotten a huge fleece for this. I mean, listen, we got first-round picks. Kawhi Leonard's gone. And it's, for people that are going to come here that have never probably heard me talk about this team and whatever, it's kind of like you don't understand why I've come to this conclusion that I've wanted Kawhi Leonard off my basketball team so badly, even though he's such a good player and whose game I love to watch, by the way. But it just came. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm very happy. I'm ecstatic. And when we got Kawhi, I consider it one of the best days of my life. Like, not just best days as a sports fan. I consider it one of the best days of my life. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that we got the finals MVP. That we got arguably the best player in the world at the height of his career. He comes to the Clippers. He chooses the Clippers over the Lakers. The thrill of that was just, it was unbelievable. I had people telling me, I cannot believe how happy you are, for months. That was me going into my senior year of college. Man, you couldn't tell me anything when we got Kawhi, dude. It was incredible. And we, had to deal with the load managing the first year. And we were like, okay, but he's Kawhi Leonard. In the playoffs, he's going to show up, right? And then even though I'm happy it all happened, he choked against the Nuggets in the bubble. The bubble rant emerged. And I didn't like the way he went out. That didn't show me any pride for the Clippers, for the fact that we've been going back and forth with the Laker fans all year. It's been Lakers, and you guys have been going out of your way to look like you're trying to one-up them. And you lay an egg like that, blowing the same lead in 3 straight games. When push came to shove, first of all, Kawhi Leonard wanted Paul George or wanted a second star. That was his request. That was his request that he held us to and used the Lakers as leverage. And I would never blame Lawrence Frank and Ballmer. I'm sorry for this. I just wouldn't. It's so easy to say we could have called Kawhi's bluff now. I've talked about this plenty of times. And yes, I've gotten more angry over the years because SGA became SGA. And we had him. And everybody always says, oh, well, he wouldn't have become SGA if he was with the Clippers. Maybe not as fast. But a player of that caliber is still going to ascend. We saw some signs in year 1. In year 2, if we didn't get Paul George, we would have seen even more signs. We still might have ended up trading him anyway. But the fact that Kawhi came and held us held us like that. It was look good for him. But we might have even bent the rules to get him. So let's see what happens with that. I'm so shocked that all this went down and that the aspirations scandal hasn't been settled and they haven't come to a decision. And so is that going with him to Toronto, or are we going to get punished because we're the ones that technically circumvented the cap? I don't know. I have no idea. But hey, it's nice that he's out of here. So let's get back to it, right? That was pretty so he gave away the he made us trade. He didn't necessarily make us trade SGA, but he wanted a second star. We did whatever it took. I can't blame Lawrence Frank and Steve Ballmer for doing whatever it takes to get arguably the best player in the world in his prime. So SGA, the pick that ends up being J-Dub, we end up feeding their dynasty because Kawhi, if Kawhi was going to stay for 7 years, I've said this before, if Kawhi was going to stay for 7 years, he should have been patient. He was already joining a 48-win team and the Warriors disbanded. So if he didn't have enough star power the first year, we could have built up, SGA would have been at, higher value, and we would have been able to see the exact, flaws in our roster that we needed to patch up. But hey, we got Paul George. At the time, he had come off third in MVP voting, and we choked in the bubble miserably. Now, the next year was obviously the high. And the part where I will say that I am thankful for this part of the Kawhi Leonard experience. 2021, this guy had probably the single best game in Clipper history, game 6. And here's another thing too, right? Since I've become, dime dropper, been on the internet like this, we've had Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. The dime dropper channel does not know the LA Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. So it's crazy that it's finally come to an end. But I've always hoped for this because it's been a roller coaster, man. It has really been a roller coaster, and it's been a lot of disappointment, and it sucks because not all of it's Kawhi's fault, which, right on cue with 2021, the ACL tear was very unfortunate, extremely unfortunate, because he was playing like the best player in the world, arguably, right there with Kevin Durant or Giannis or Jokic, right there with all of them. That game 6 and 7, I was at game 7. I have a vlog of that on my channel. He was spectacular. And then, of course, the injuries happened. Obviously, the what if is if he hadn't torn his ACL, we would have won the championship in 2021. And you know what? It's a decent what if. But it is what it is. The memories that were made that will live with me forever in that playoff run were really games 5 and 6 more than anything. And he wasn't a part of those. Being at game 6, it's just a different feel with the whole, with at least the majority of the stadium filled with fans. That's a different experience than the cardboard cutouts game 7. That was the peak. You know what I'm saying? That was the peak. After that, obviously, to have be healthy for an entire season, it was just unfortunate, right? Just super unfortunate. Not on Kawhi's control, just a freak accident. But I have to say, he didn't look the same after that, in my opinion. He wasn't as quick. He wasn't as agile, wasn't as twitchy, wasn't as shifty, wasn't as spry. He was still a machine. His efficiency was incredible. You can't really tell by from the numbers that he was any worse. But when you see the eye test, it just, he wasn't really getting by guys the same way after. And he didn't have the same spring at the rim. 2023 was a complete disaster. This is when it really turned for me, guys. Because you know what? In 2020, I was really mad, right? Everybody saw that. But in 2021, he won me over. I was like, okay, you know what, Kawhi, you helped us make history. Let's get it back in 2023. No. That's the season where it all changed for me. I still have not heard a good explanation for this, Clipper Nation. I just still haven't. What happened in the game against Memphis on the road, the first of that back-to-back? We're at halftime. We pulled Kawhi out, and the report was he's not going to play in the second half of this game when we're in a playoff push, but instead he's going to play the second night in a full game in the back-to-back. And Ty Lue seems like he said he had no idea what was going on. He was pissed in the press conference after the game. That was shady. Someone that was closer to the organization told me that nobody knew. He just left. But I didn't believe that because what one person tells me does not, move the needle for me. I need at least multiple sources with this kind of stuff, with those kind of accusations. And then there was the Pelicans game that I attended. We have a vlog of that where Trey Murphy just went crazy on us. And Kawhi apparently left with a facial contusion, but he got hit in the face and then played a lot longer. And then the next game, he didn't have any mask or any restriction of any sort. It was weird. And then I heard the same thing for that game, but I was like, you know what? Again, same person, same source, doesn't matter. And then one of our beat writers, I'm not going to say it was former or current or whatever, but somebody that, is in the scene told me that, when he left that Pelicans game with no explanation. And that's when I was like, oh my God, like, is this stuff real? Like, this is just too shady. For me, all this stuff, this not playing, this and that, to me, it was just like, you're healthy. We're in a playoff push. We've seen Kawhi Leonard in future seasons play in back-to-backs. And in 2023, he was so cautious. But that was just, for me, if you're not 100% committed to trying to get the LA Clippers a championship, then you should not be the franchise player. You need to be doing everything you can for me. Everything you can. And Kawhi, it was a big deal that he would even mention the name Clippers or mention the fans at all. I remember the beat writers started making sure we knew when he did it because it was so rare. He's a guy that comes in, he gets the check, then he does his job and he works hard. He's an incredible basketball player. When he's healthy, he's great. But in that regular season, I thought the whole approach from our franchise was unserious. Kawhi and Paul George still crying for their point guard. Reggie Jackson wasn't good enough. They got Westbrook, but then Kawhi Leonard got hurt after he was balling against the Suns, and Paul George was already hurt. And then the following year, he doesn't sit back-to-backs. His knee falls apart. It's just a lot of really solid regular seasons, and then it just kind of fell flat. 2025 comes back after missing over half the season. So much mystery around all these injuries, by the way, all the time. So many freaking mysterious moments. Ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun because for a player of his caliber that's so damn good, for him to end up not performing, really after those injuries, but 2025 and then this year in the games against Portland and Golden State, he was good, but he wasn't good enough. He struggled with double teams. He's not generating super easy buckets. It's just, Kawhi was really, really good, man. But after 2021, he really wasn't that guy that's going to be the clear-cut number one on a championship team anymore. And all the stuff that we had to go through as fans for this experience, like just the lying or the not being 100% about the injuries that Kawhi had. And some people would say, why do the fans need to know? It's like, dude, just have a normal injury report. Just give us a timetable. It's okay. We'll still try to come to the games. It was, I don't know, man. And for me, Kawhi, I've said this on many occasions, Kawhi Leonard is not a guy that, in my opinion, rep the Clippers with pride of any sort. And he's not really the kind of guy that reps any team with pride of any sort, as we've seen. He's not that kind of guy. He's not into the hoopla. He's not into that whole thing. He just kind of plays basketball and that's it. And that's totally fine when he's playing basketball. But I don't know. We either just didn't get enough of it in a Clipper uniform, or we just didn't see a version of Kawhi that came through when it mattered most after that, that ACL injury. It's unfortunate, man. 2024, 2025, he just couldn't, at the end of the day, he just couldn't really get the step on guys anymore to get all the, 2 feet in the paint consistently. But it was a great experience in terms of just how good Kawhi is, but it was a complete letdown every single year. And I just don't understand how Clipper fans can have so much reverence for him. Like, I know the internet isn't the real world, but I just don't get it. Like, he he used the Lakers as leverage and basically blackmailed us to trade or for a second star upon his arrival. He fails the first year because he doesn't perform well enough. I know Paul George didn't perform well enough either, and the Montrez thing, but Kawhi did not do well enough in the bubble at the end of the day against the Nuggets. We get rid of Montrez and replace him with Ibaka, his former teammate, and we fire Glenn Rivers. And then in 2021, we give him a point guard, Rondo. And of course, that was the year. That was the year, unfortunately. And then we get him Westbrook. We had John Wall in the beginning. Whether it was Paul George pushed or not, Kawhi always wanted a point guard. He just wasn't as vocal about it. That was well reported. Every beat writer said it. And we got him Harden. Like, we just did so much to appease this guy. We stood by him. We potentially did shady things for him. It was a little ridiculous for what he was giving us, which was a lot of seasons missing games. And again, I'm not saying he wanted to miss games, but this was just part of the Kawhi experience. And the Kawhi experience was awful, in my opinion. Sorry to say, it was awful outside of 2021. These great regular seasons, I don't give a damn about that. We got Kawhi Leonard to become different than Lob City. We got Kawhi Leonard to win a championship, and here we are 7 years later talking about one time that we made a run to the conference finals. He wasn't injured every time. It was terrible. It was terrible. And every single time, I don't understand. Listen, I'm not the fan police. If you're sad Kawhi left, that's totally fine. Like, I understand he's really good, but like, I don't know where I could rank him in my top Clippers of all time. Like, his tenure was overwhelmingly negative. His first year was a disaster. His second year was great. Didn't play the third year. The fourth year, he got injured. Now, the fifth year, he got injured. And then after that, what? He did not play well enough against the Nuggets to get the job done. Not getting enough shots off. And then this season, he played amazing, but in the big games to make the playoffs, he didn't perform. So what was this big, deal about playoff Kawhi and, all this? He didn't show up for us like that. He just didn't. He was great in the regular seasons when he was healthy. He tried to play through some injuries in 2024 in the playoffs. I do appreciate that. But it was just I just didn't enjoy the experience. And it sucks because I love the way Kawhi plays basketball. And it's sad that 7 years have gone by and all we have to show for it is one conference finals appearance. I don't know if I want to say, thank you, Kawhi, for what? For what? For choosing the Clippers? Because, he was comfortable here. He was comfortable. He got to come home and then not play with LeBron and have the hoopla and the hype of the Lakers and that big three and, whatever it was that didn't let him. By the way, LeBron not in the Lakers anymore. That's another episode in itself. Oh, my God. What a day in Los Angeles. Get the mercenaries out of here, man. Get them out of here. Dude, I did not enjoy rooting for Kawhi Leonard after that 2023 shit, man. I cannot lie to everybody. Everybody knows it. I did a video at the end of every season talking about how I felt. I wanted to trade him as of 2023 offseason. So for 3 years to have to witness some really good regular seasons and then amounting to absolutely nothing. Yeah, great. I'm happy it's over. And honestly, we did a good job of waiting for the right offer. I have to say, in 2023, he had just torn his meniscus. His value would not have been this high. After the 2024 season, I don't think his value would have been this high. And even as of last season, I don't think his value would have been as high. He got his value up having a 65 game season, second team All NBA. So we did the right thing. I think we held patiently and got rid of him at the right time. So I have to give Lawrence Frank and the front office a lot of credit. Lawrence Frank, honestly, has been kind of redeeming himself. So, look, man, and this is the best part about it all, Clipper Nation. The Kawhi stands are going to fuck off. For years, I had these leeches all over every single platform that I'm a part of, commenting on my shit, masquerading as real Clipper fans when they're not Clipper fans at all. They're just Kawhi stans and fanboys and think he can do no wrong because he's a very complete basketball player. They make every excuse in the book for him and want to say all these different things about me, who's a diehard fan of a team that's still here right now. Clipper Nation, throw some Clipper Nations in the chat right now because we are bigger than any player. And no, I don't wish Kawhi well in Toronto. I hope he loses every game. I still respect him, though. I love Kawhi's game. I really think his story is amazing. But it was awful having him. Good riddance. Good riddance, dude. Everybody, dude, again, the reverence that Clipper fans had for this guy. Like, what did he do that was so great outside of 2021? Are we seriously holding on to that? Because everything else is not that special, given the expectations that we had for him. He's not a better Clipper than Blake and Chris Paul. At the highest, you could rank him third. He wouldn't even be in my top 5 because I think that the years that we had him were not good. They were disappointing. And then some people will say, oh, you're spoiled because you've only been a Clipper fan for 22 years or 21 years. Bro, we had some shitty seasons, but I'm telling you right now, when you have no expectations, it doesn't hurt as bad. And it's not my fault for having expectations. We got Kawhi Leonard to win a championship, and he's leaving back to Toronto after 7 years with 1 conference finals to show for it. Again, a lot of it was not in his control. But the fact that he's so quiet and he does nothing in terms of like fan interaction. Again, he said the word Clippers maybe 10 times in front of a camera in his entire tenure. He's not that kind of guy. I get it. But I miss when we had Blake Griffin, Chris Paul everywhere and being real spokespeople for the team. Like, that was special. They really showed emotion. And I get it. Again, I wouldn't care about the lack of emotion if Kawhi actually performed. And for us, he did not outside of 1 year. Point blank, end of story. There's no way you can say he's a better Clipper than Chris Paul or Blake Griffin to me. No way. He's in the Paul George, maybe Elton Brand conversations. Elton Brand 06 season to me surpasses anything that we have with Kawhi. Because Kawhi got hurt in that 2021. But Kawhi, let's get it. Listen, I will say this. Kawhi Leonard is the best player to put on a Clipper jersey. Like, when he actually was at his best, there was nobody better than him. Nobody. But it's over, and I'm so thankful. Now, let's talk about what came in. I think that's all I got to say. It's over. But let's talk about what came in. So the picks are obviously a home run. The 2027 pick, it sounds like we're going to get the second of the 3 in the swap. Toronto will get the worst one. OKC will get the best one. We'll get the middle one. Brandon Ingram, I really like him. I really do. I love, I'm a mid-range guy, and I've loved him since he was with the Lakers. But, if Brandon Ingram is your best player, 1A with Darius Garland, that's not a great team. It's like a playing team at best. If Ingram can stay healthy. Now, the biggest thing with me with Ingram is his health is a big problem. Although he just came off a really healthy season. I mean, he's literally worse than Kawhi at everything. Literally everything. But I like him. He can get a bucket. He's a mid-range assassin. He can turn over either shoulder in the post. I just think that sometimes he lacks aggression. He is kind of a one-level scorer in many ways against the high-level defenses to me. Like, he doesn't get the step on guys, kind of like Kawhi. Like, he can get a shot off over anyone. But to me, he does not generate enough easy buckets. It's a lot of contested mid-ranges. And I think he's actually an underrated passer. But that's why he's not like the tier 1 guy in the league. He's like an all-star caliber player. Like a 20-plus score all day long. And I'm excited to root for him, but he's just a filler. He's just a filler for the next couple of years to stay competitive because we don't have our immediate picks. So I hope he doesn't stunt the growth of Keaton, Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, but we do need kind of a bucket getter alongside Garland to, survive. And I think Ben Mathurin, when we, re-sign him, that would be some firepower to stay competitive. At the end of the day, it's really all about developing Keaton Wagler, Yannick, and Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, and Ben Mathurin for the long haul, in my opinion. And Garland and Ingram are kind of fillers, and we can see how Garland fits into the equation long-term. Maybe, hopefully, he will be part of us long-term. The thing is, Ingram's contract isn't great. He's getting paid like $41 million a year for the next 2 years. So that's a lot for him. And the reason why I say like he can't get the step and all that is because the series against Lou Dort in 2024 was very telling to me. He just like got nothing easy at all. It was all contested mid ranges with a hand in his face. And I love what he did with the Raptors this past season. I will have, you know, if you've noticed, I haven't done like breakdowns of playoff games from, other teams in the playoffs these past 2 years, but I've actually recorded a lot of them. They're just going to come out after this World Cup because I've been doing World Cup content like crazy. But yeah, man, the Kawhi Leonard era is over. Gradey Dick, I mean, everybody says he's ass. Listen, that wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional. Everybody says that fool is ass, but he, um, I've just seen him make shots like from outside. Like he's a good jump shooter, but I haven't seen him play in large sample sizes like that. So I'm not going to even judge. We'll see. I'm going to wait and form my own opinion. But the player side of the deal is not great. Ingram, as I said, just a filler to keep us competitive for a bit. And look, we're getting him basically in his prime, which is nice. But yeah, you're never going to get a better player when you trade Kawhi Leonard. This is about the future. And I'm so happy, honestly, with the way we've played, with the moves that we've made. And Lawrence Frank, I honestly think he's redeemed himself in a lot of ways. Like he did a really good job. And now Kawhi Leonard and James Harden are off my basketball team. So it's just a dream come true, honestly. Like I have waited for this for so long. There's no player on the Clippers that I like don't like rooting for. Like I like everybody on the team. Like it's such a special feeling. And that's the first time that I can really say that since 2023. It's really special. And I'm excited to be a content creator and being, somebody who has a voice in, Clipper Nation online that is going to be so pro the team, because that's how I always was as a kid. But I was just so put off by some of the things of this 2-1-3 era. And it's honestly made me develop into a negative Nancy. Like people think that's what I am. And like, I just complain, but like, that's not the case at all. Like you're going to see now what I'm really like as a fan. And that's Mr. Positive. Like at the end of the day, like I love the Clippers, man. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be talking about this Clipper team. And I couldn't wait to be a content creator for this Clipper team that didn't have Kawhi Leonard on the team anymore. It's just so special. It's so special, man. Clipper Nation, be back, dude. The future is, I wouldn't say bright, but it's looking brighter. It's definitely looking brighter. We are on the road to being contenders again in the future. It's Keaton Wagler season. Dude, we are lit as can be. I mean, it's been a celebratory day for me. Absolutely. The Kawhi stands. Now we're going to see all these motherfuckers on Twitter who had Clipper Nation in their bio. We're going to erase that stuff. Go We the North. We're going to see a real switch up. We're going to find out who the real Clipper fans were. Because there's been people masquerading as Clipper fans since I've become a content creator, and I cannot wait till they expose themselves. Same with the LeBron fans that have Lake Show in their bio. They're absolute just these stands are just unbelievably annoying. I'm being so nice. I'm being so nice. I can't like it's oh my God, guys. I'm at a loss for words. It's an incredible feeling to have them just not be involved with my channel anymore. It's just a blessing. It's just a blessing. So it's a new day, Clipper Nation. It's a new day. And I'm just so excited to make content going forward, man. It's gonna be a fun season. Even if we're not as good, and we probably won't be. I just want to be competitive. I want guys that are gonna work hard and play for the fans, for the LA Clippers with pride. And man, that's all I can say. Like just play hard, and we will appreciate you right here in Clipper Nation. We really will. Just play hard. But there it is. Keaton Wagler should start now with Darius Garland, Brandon Ingram, I guess Brooke Lopez until Yannick comes back, and then Derek Jones Jr. or Chris Dunn. I would prefer Derek Jones Jr. for a little bit more of height. But yeah, that is what I've. And then off the bench, Ben Matherin, Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, and then we'll go from there. Yannick. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, Clipper Nation. The era of Kawhi Leonard is over. It's just a great time to be a Clipper fan, in my opinion. And listen, as I said, if you loved Kawhi, then I'm not policing you at all. Be thankful, do your tributes, appreciate him. I'm not trying to influence anyone, but I think it was a complete disappointment. I'm excited not to be disappointed by him anymore. And it's just the roller coaster's over. Kawhi and Harden are really off my team. It's special, man. I've been waiting for this guy to become a content creator. You don't understand how much this means to me. Mr. Positive is here. If you want positive Clipper coverage, right here, Dime Dropper, season ticket holder, going into year 22 as a fan. Let's fucking go, Clipper Nation. Blake Griffin and Chris Paul are the two greatest Clippers of all time. Kawhi Leonard could be as high as third, honestly. Not for me, though. And he's probably not even in my top, 50 favorites of all time. But it's okay. You know, he still did some great things in a Clipper uniform. But it wasn't fun. Not for me, at least. But hey, we might not be as good, but we're going to ride till the day we die, baby. Clipper Nation. Peace out, everyone. Have a great night. Go Clips. Check out my World Cup content. Been at games, asking fans things. It's been crazy. Peace. Love you, Clipper Nation. It's going to be a good time this season. No more Kawhi. No more expectations. We're going to be mediocre for a bit. And it is just... It is a new time. It's a new day. We're building towards something in the future. Dude, oh my God. Too much today, ladies and gentlemen. Too much today, as you can see. I was celebrating too much. I've been fumbling my words. Oh my God. I'm too lit for this, guys. Peace out, everybody. Go Clippers.